You're listening to BS the podcast with
Benny Philhauer and Sal Zizzo. Enjoy.
It's like they went to like a Catholic school in the 70s in Philadelphia or something. Getting spanked and hit by rulers. No water. What is this? Don't want to be an agent of a player who's a free agent for sure.
It can't be any worse than being a real estate agent. So. Welcome back to BS the podcast. We are here, me and Sal, doing this again. Episode 7, I believe. I've lost count.
6.
Is it 6?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, dude.
I think so. Right?
Dude, we had Andy, we had Ike, we had Sasha, we had Walker, Dax, and Charlie.
You're right. 7.
This is getting big, man. People are enjoying the show more than I expected, and with that, we've actually broken 1,000 views for literally every single one of the episodes, which is pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We appreciate all the love that we've gotten, and we ask that you guys continue to rate stuff, comment on stuff. Nino does a pretty good job of posting stuff on social media, and get that out to all your buddies and whoever else might be interested in listening, because we're having a good time doing it, and we're glad that you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, if you guys want some inside scoop from some of the players, some stories that you've never heard before, give us a listen and tell your friends.
Yeah, make sure you share it with all your buddies. Having said that, let's move on to today's podcast. We are getting Amobi Okugo today, who's a guy that I played with at Kansas City for a year, a little less than a year. He's, I'm sure, got some pretty good stories from his first early days at the Philadelphia Union, which we'll get into. He is an entrepreneur now. He's playing at USL, so we'll talk about his transition to playing USL and what he kind of looks for in the future, and also his entrepreneurship with Frugal Athlete, which is pretty interesting in itself.
Yeah, we'll dive into some stories with Philly and maybe a little bit with UCLA since we all went there. Excited to talk to him.
All right, let's bring him up. We are here with our friend Amobi Okugo. What's up, bro? Thanks for coming on the show.
Nah, thanks for having me. I've been listening. You guys are killing it, so it's good fun.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate all our listeners, and now we appreciate all the stories you're going to tell us, because I know you have some. So we're excited to have you on the show. We all went to UCLA at different times. Me, you, and Sal. Not Ike, but me, you, and Sal did. We had some fun experiences there. We had Jorge Salcedo as our coach, who now is no longer there, as you know. How crazy is this story that we heard? I mean, about. I honestly don't. I still don't completely understand it, but it was pretty insane.
Yeah, I still don't believe it because, I mean, we all know Coach Jorge, and he's just like shy, awkward. Well, not awkward, but he wasn't really
a little bit awkward.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he was just a really family-oriented guy to himself. So when it happened, I was like making fun of people, like, "Yo, your school did this." He was like, UCLA is in trouble too. I was like, okay, basketball, football. He was like, no, the soccer team.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what?
The only one that's like soccer.
Yeah.
For men's at least. Yeah, that was crazy when I saw that. Who actually told me? Was it Chance that texted us, Benny?
I honestly can't. I think it might have been Chance. But for me, it's like, dude, that's one of the best coaching jobs in the country in terms of like job security. You get paid well. It's an easy job in terms of like
you get to live in LA, UCLA.
And how much time. It's not that much time consuming compared to other jobs. You don't have to travel that much. Crazy that you would put yourself in a position to possibly get in trouble like that.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can imagine what it was like to be a college student at UCLA. It's not real life. It can't be. Like, you guys have to feel like you're living a celebrity lifestyle.
Bro, I didn't feel like that. I feel like UCLA gets like that rep, but it's not. It's not like USC where parties
but
all
like
the time.
entourage.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not a private school. It's not a private school though, so it's like.
Yeah, but just seeing the weather and the campus and all of it honestly would just feel like walking like you're an entourage. No matter who you are, you could just you could be in finance and that's where your major. That's it. Like, I would just feel like such a badass.
It was so great that all three of us left early. So it was really cool.
Mobes, how many years did you play there?
I was there for 3 months. Like, literally.
3 months? I didn't go to UCLA,
I got
bro.
us out in the Elite Eight, and I left after
He wasn't even there a semester. He was there a
This
quarter.
guy took one sociology class and considered himself an alumni.
Well, with college soccer, it starts in what, like August or September, and that's still summer for UCLA, right? And so he was only in school for, I mean, you were in school for maybe 4 games that were actually legit. The rest of the time, you had to have just been partying. All of you guys.
Benny, should we get into what we had to do for initiation for UCLA?
Oh man, I like to. Well,
There's some good stories.
is it the same? Like, did you guys do the same as I did?
I did pretty bad. I don't know if Moby did because later it was kind of
No, I think my year was like the last year we were allowed to do like initiation.
okay. So what did you do, Benny?
So my initiation, we had 2 initiations. We had when you made a trip, the first trip, travel
same.
roster or whatever.
Same.
So that was brutal. That was the worst one. You would get your head shaved, or you get like some kind of ridiculous cut. You get like
just so we're
eyebrows.
clear,
What's that?
Incoming ban for UCLA. Just so we're clear right now.
There's gonna be parts that we're gonna have to censor out. Hopefully Nino can like bleep it out or something. But honestly, we had the worst haircuts, eyebrows, and all this kind of stuff. And you'd get one other thing that honestly, I honestly don't think I can get into. But it was literally the worst, the worst manageable pain that you can think of. Like it was terrible. It's funny, but it's also. It wasn't that fun for the guy that was going through it, but fair enough. It's
scary,
like,
right? You're like
it's just
scared a little bit.
It's just a little bit of pain, unnecessary pain. It's not going to kill you, but a little bit unnecessary.
It's terrible too because you're getting your head shaved and you're getting an eyebrow shaved, and it's like a week before everybody arrives on campus. So you're just like the first day everybody's there, you're just like head shaved, half an eyebrow. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi,
I'm not going to talk about the icy hot.
Yeah, then there's icy hot in places you don't want. So
and then we had the team.
Then the
one.
jock strap, the run to the party,
Yeah, we
right?
did
That was the party one, but the party
We did the
one's
icy
fun, right? You
hot.
do it like as a team. Did you still do like the jock strap? You run from the dorms and you get hit like kind of softly with the paddle.
Yeah, we did all that. We did the run from the. We had to have the posters and run around. Then we had icy hot. Then we had eyebrows shaved and the head shaved. But I didn't get that done. I was against that because I have like bushy eyebrows and my hair's already short. So I was like, that's not happening. I literally like stood my ground.
Hey.
One of our Evan Rayner.
I
don't know if you
was
guys
weak
remember
as a
Evan Rayner.
freshman. I was allowing it.
Evan Rayner had
I
like
was
dreads,
allowing it.
and he like literally said like he had to go back home, so he didn't show up for initiation.
Wait, who was this?
Evan Rayner, he was my roommate at the time. Played for like Real SoCal.
Well done,
and
Evan Rayner.
Our initiation was during like alumni week, so then we had to do the other part, and I don't know if we could talk about that.
Okay.
No, that's brutal.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk about it. You have to go to UCLA to find out, what used to happen there. So I don't know if it happens anymore.
I just remember
I
I
actually
wanted to
don't
fight.
think it happens anymore.
I wanted to fight Zaire. I don't know if that's his name.
Mike Zaire.
Yeah,
I
I
know
wanted to fight him
Mike.
after that.
Mike's there.
It was that bad.
I could see Mike being a little bit of a dick
That's great.
Definitely was
during those times, man. Oh, brutal. All right, well, let's get past that. Maybe that's the reason why Jorge's not there anymore. He couldn't take it anymore. But yeah, let's move on from college and MLS. And you played at Philadelphia. You played with us in Kansas City. You played at Portland. Am I missing any stops?
Orlando. Yeah.
Orlando, that's right. But I want to talk about your first place that you played at, Philadelphia Union. I think it's the place where you played the longest. You probably had the most success, and you had a semi-crazy coach.
That's being nice.
I had him at one point as well.
I did too.
He was actually a really good
And he was
assistant coach for the
full-on
national
crazy.
team. Assistant coach for the national team. Peter Novak did a really good job. Olympic coach, I didn't see eye to eye with him. And I'd love to hear some of the stories that have been widely talked about on the internet of Mr. Coach Peter Novak.
So Coach Peter
in his time with Philadelphia.
Yeah, so Coach Peter, one of my favorite coaches. I wouldn't consider him crazy. I would consider him like mad genius. So like He's almost like too
He's
smart
a
to
savant.
explain to everybody else what he's trying to convey. So it comes off as crazy, but when like you get him to like break it down, he's actually a good coach in my opinion. And then obviously he's like Eastern European, like fitness tactics. That's crazy. But other like the tactical side is mad genius. I'll go mad genius.
All right, well, then I want to ask you a direct question about something that I heard, and you tell me what's true and what's not true about it.
All right, cool.
I can't remember what year this was, but I think you guys were going through maybe not the greatest of stretches, and he figured you guys just weren't fit enough. So he put you guys to do like crazy amount of running, weird obstacle courses where you had to like run up and down hills, and this would be, this would be hard, really hard stuff. And as soon as you're done with that, no water.
Yeah, denied water.
You are not allowed to hydrate. No H2O in your body. You have to run dehydrated. Explain to me the genius
in the Philadelphia humidity.
So you remember that scene in
Mind
Denzel Washington? Why am I forgetting the movie?
Remember the Titans?
Yeah, remember the Titans when coach is like, "Yo, maybe they should get some water," and he's like, "Nah." That's basically.
Are we comparing Peter Novak to Denzel right now?
No, but I'm just trying to give you the answer without giving you the answer. I'm trying to be political.
Well, give me the answer without being political, then, please.
Well, maybe he's going to listen and file a lawsuit on you. He tried to sue everybody. So be careful.
I was not
folks.
implicated in any of that.
Oh, man.
So yeah,
some crazy stories there. But,
I literally we had trainers like hiding waters like on the trails. It was good times.
Guys are running behind trees to get a sip of water.
They would leave paths just behind trees.
It's so funny how like stories travel around MLS locker rooms. Like how like when like some of the stuff was happening, Ike was texting me like, "Yo, what's going on?" And I'm like,
I've got some for my interrogation that I'll get to, but I didn't know about the leaving waters and trails and bushes and.
Yo, based on Amobi's first answer to the question, I think he's gonna need 2 plead the fifths today.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, moving on from Peter Novak the Great. We played with you in 2015 in Kansas City.
Not really.
I mean, you were here. You played. How many games did you play that year?
Bro, everyone thinks I played like a lot of games. I was injured the whole time. I played 3 games.
Really? Well, you came halfway through the season. You got brought in what, in June or May or?
June or July.
July.
Yeah.
And
Was that after you were out? Didn't you come on trial at Red Bull? Was that in 2016 or was that 2015?
So it was before. It was before. I was in Kansas City before Red Bull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you won yourself an Open Cup though.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Did you get a ring?
Yeah, I got the medal, got the bonus, got to go to Vegas. It was pretty good.
We should talk about the Vegas story. There's probably some good Vegas stories there.
Wait, what year was that Vegas story? Was that the one with Jacob? Was that Peterson?
I'm pretty sure that was the Jacob Peterson year.
Definitely was.
Was it? It was. We'll leave that one off because Jacob actually might murder us for sharing that story. He's the kind of guy that would. So we're gonna just slide out of that.
Yeah. So you had the 2015 year. We won Open Cup. You only played 3 games. Apparently, I did not know that. Congratulations to winning the bonus though, and having a fun time with us at Vegas. We'll get into that one.
Did you get any mean tweets about posting that you won or anything? Just recently. Out of nowhere, it's been 6 months since we won MLS Cup with Atlanta. Some Red Bull fan just recently tweeted me, "Sal, you had nothing to do with this."
Wow, that's a little bit
just
harsh.
6 months later, most recent comment. So I just did a nice little swipe delete.
Mobs, you get any hate mail?
It was awkward because we played Philly, couldn't really participate. But, you know, it went to PKs, and I'm like, I'm on the sideline with everybody. I'm like guessing, like, this guy's going to go this way. And then Tim came up big, saved like 2 PKs. But to be honest, I didn't really get any hate tweets. Philly showed me love. They were probably more upset about losing in the final in Open Cup again. So I was I was off.
You were in the clear.
Yeah, in the clear.
And then obviously you played 2 years at Portland?
Yeah, 2 years in Portland. After I was at Red Bull for like, you guys had me over there for like a month. Just practicing. And then
look at this man, dude. You're just playing everywhere. This is what people don't realize about MLS. How many times people move and play, and I mean you're there for a month, and you were in Orlando after Kansas City or before Kansas City?
So before Kansas City.
Before. So you played there a year after Philly, and then came and played a year in Kansas City, and then jumped around a few times, and then ended up at Portland for 2 seasons?
Yeah, so Philly signed a new contract with Orlando 6 months, then Kansas City. I guess you want to call it a year. Remember, I mean, I was in preseason the following year, but I wasn't allowed to train.
You didn't get to you got to play on the sideline.
Yeah, because your dad was trying to mess me up.
Wait, who? Benny's?
Benny's dad.
He's talking to you, Ike.
Okay, yeah, just making
Ike,
sure.
your dad.
About Benny's dad.
And then that situation got handled. Then I went to Red Bulls. Spent time at Red Bulls for like a month. Nothing ever came through, and then signed with Portland.
Nice. And now you're playing in Austin.
Yeah, so now I'm in Austin.
And that's a first year team?
Yeah, first year franchise, USL. So just call me King Expansion. I go to Expansion.
I like that.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you. You're playing in Austin, Texas right now. It's USL. Obviously, they're going to have a team in Austin in MLS in 2 years, correct? 2021?
Yeah, 2021. That's their plan.
So I'm curious to know from you, how is that city? I lived in Houston. I went to Austin maybe one time, and I remember it being a pretty cool city, but I was young. I'm wondering how you think that city will develop into an MLS city, MLS fans, how it'll all work out there.
To be honest, I think they have a lot of potential. Like I've been seeing like the watch parties. They get good crowds. I think on the like TV ratings, they're always like top 5. It just really depends how they market it, because they have a good, diverse, young tech population. So if they can get them to come to the games, I think they can do a lot of good things. It's real close to San Antonio. It's only 3 hours away from Houston, 3 hours away from Dallas. And a lot of people are moving here, and there's really nothing else to do. So there's no other sports that they got to really compete with, just the live music and the occasional like hiking scene. So I really think it would do well here.
Yeah, I think that seems like a really good place to have, a new franchise and start from scratch there. I think it'll be pretty cool. And isn't it a big college scene there too?
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
so
of
you
young
got
people
UT out here. A lot of Brazilians are out here as well. So
really,
Benny.
who knows? Maybe I'll see myself there somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Head coach.
Mobs, do you
Head
see yourself
podcaster.
still trying to play in MLS, or are you you think that's it for you?
it really depends. I mean, if it happens, so someone's trying to pay, me. But yeah, it just really all depends.
See, that's my favorite thing about Moby and people in general. You always look for financial first before you contemplate going anywhere. And I think you're like I see all these athletes saying that will be like, oh, I want to ring first. You want to ring over your Supermax contract? I mean, you get the money first and then you get your ring. And so exactly. Moby's always been on that mindset to it since 19 when we were in Generation Adidas class till now. Hence, we'll probably get into your frugal entrepreneurs, but
Benny's had that mindset since he was born. So.
No, I mean, I think that's perfect. I really do want to talk about it because that's one of the more interesting things that I know about you is you started, the Frugal Athlete thing, and you're an entrepreneur now, dude. And so that's why I was asking you, do you still want to try and play in MLS, or is this kind of like a passion that you feel like you're headed more towards and you're comfortable at where you're at, and you just kind of want to develop that more. So first, tell us about, obviously not a ton of people will know, so talk about it and let us know what it is that you do.
Yeah, so Frugal Athlete is basically an online media platform to promote prudent financial practices and smart career decisions amongst professional athletes and student athletes. We can't all make Benny, Ike, and Sal money, so we got to be smart with some of the financial decisions that we make. So that's basically, just bring it to light in a positive way, outside of just the investments that athletes are making, but some of the smart, prudent financial decisions that they're making. And so far it's been good. That's kind of why I've been able to kind of be settled in Austin right now. And if something comes up in MLS, hopefully it'd be in like a city where I can still focus on what I'm doing with the Frugal Athlete.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds cool. And just on a serious note, I feel like almost anybody at MLS, probably 95% plus, and you're talking about like what me, Ike, and Sal made. And honestly, I think that unless you're the top 1%, top 2, 3 percentile of the players, you have to be smart with your money regardless, man. I mean, I've made good money in my career, but if I had not been smart about my money throughout my whole life, I wouldn't feel comfortable now, and I feel like that's probably the same for both Ike and Sal. And so I think a lot of people, fall under the umbrella or the net that Frugal Athlete would cast.
No, you're exactly right. We're not all fortunate enough to just chill after we're done playing. We're all going to have to find second careers. So what we do now with the money that we make while we're at the height of our careers or capital, it's really important. And we talked about, how Ike was like, people think about finances first, then trophies. And it's like, I wanted to ask, like, because I'm like, because Callum's on our team. I'm like, why did Benny go to Colorado when he's already in LA, like close to home? So I was like, I always wanted to ask him that. And now I got the chance to ask him.
Yeah, you get. I mean, it's not I feel like this is something that I've said, publicly in the media, but I think it has to do, of course, financially has to do with it, but I also think it has to do with the fact that I felt like I had earned a certain amount, and I could have taken less to stay, no doubt about it. And what they offered me was very close to what I ended up asking for at the end, and there was a very small gap as to what I was asking for and what they had offered me. And to me, to close the gap essentially was a very easy thing for the club and for MLS, because there's always the thought of the club has to get MLS to approve contracts and yada, yada, yada. And so when that didn't happen, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Colorado came and offered me considerably more money, I basically, went back to LAFC and like, look, close the gap and let's get this done, because this is, in short, ridiculous for us to not just, get this done over the small difference that what I'm asking for and what you guys are offering. And so it didn't happen. I was pretty disappointed, but it's business, and obviously I think they've made a pretty good decision with what they've done in this year, and so I can't really fault them for anything like that. But it was disappointing for me. I obviously wanted to stay there at the time. Like you said, we move, I think, too much in this business sometimes, and it would have been nice to stay there. But I didn't feel like what happened in the end was what was supposed to happen, and I think it was more a matter of principle than financial at the end.
I mean, and realistically, we're talking about a lot of money, right? We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, but we're not talking millions of dollars, which is what a lot of these NBA players are doing. And if after making $22 million one year, now they're gonna like settle to make 15 for a ring. Okay, I get that, but if we're trying to set ourselves up financially for the rest of our lives,
that's true,
or at least try to go as far as we can. I think you just have to focus on a little bit of both, but money plays a larger factor for sure.
Yeah. Especially California taxes, man. I think you made the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to reiterate one other thing, I feel like this is the one thing that maybe I've never talked about is even before the negotiations really got going, I'd spoke to my wife, to my parents, and I said, look, it's not so much about the money anymore. You know, I'm down to my last few years, and I want to play where I'll be competing for championships and, you know, have a good life and yada, yada, yada. And I thought 95% chance I was going to stay in LA. I really didn't think it would come to that. And so I just want to reiterate that for the most part, it was more a matter of principle where I didn't feel like they came, you know, I came halfway and they didn't come the other half. And I felt kind of, I don't know if disrespected.
You want to feel wanted.
Yeah,
Colorado comes in and they're like, "Look, Benny, we want you. We want you to be our number 10. We rate you this, you know." And that also saying those words is a big bonus.
No, yeah,
you know?
it definitely affects it.
They're backing it up with the contract. So.
Yeah, it definitely affects it. But I mean, I've been around, you know, the game for so long that I understand that that's also, you know, a conversation that happens with any team that's going to, you know, pick you up. It doesn't mean that 3 months, 6 months later, it's still going to be the same way. And I knew LA, I knew, you know, the system, I knew Bob and the players there. And so, you know, I wanted to stay there. I think and they told me that they wanted me as well, but obviously it didn't work out in the end. But, you know, that was kind of how it worked out and why I guess it didn't work out.
Moby, I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about, I think you had done like I don't know if it was a little docu-series or something about being a free agent.
Oh, yeah, respect.
Yeah, and I saw that. I think it was on LinkedIn or something, and it was, I believe it was either during my first free agency year or even after that, and I just felt like I could relate completely with that video. And, you know, people think it's all glory, but when you're sitting there and you're kind of expecting a call and you're out on your own to go train at some high school stadium and like have no one to train with and you're just like running around cones, it's definitely a weird feeling and a humbling experience for sure.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like, especially like the little things that you got to figure out like while you're a free agent, like even like health insurance. I'm like, yeah, these people are taxing me. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm calling my agent like, yo, any updates? He's like, yeah, we just talked yesterday. There's no updates. I was like,
yeah. I don't want to be an agent of a player who's a free agent for sure.
It can't be any worse than being a real estate agent, Sal. Come on.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Benny.
There's that dagger from Benny.
Is it Sal's gonna get one every episode?
One dagger an episode, bro.
Yeah, I think Vegas has to put odds on your dagger on Sal's real estate ventures.
What minute in the podcast will it get talked about?
Over under 1.5. I mean, I think we can have good bets with that.
Yeah, we could.
All right. Well, do we have any other questions so we can move on to I?
Let's hear Ike's. Ike's questions were a little bit harder last episode with Charlie, so I'd like to see what he's got for our friend Amobi here.
So me and Ike are in a group chat, so I'm ready because the group chat rule that anything goes.
All right, Ike, it's all you. Ike's interrogation right now. Here we go.
So I've tried to leave some of those out of Amobi, but I'll come in with one personal shot off the top of the bat.
Okay.
Are you still in a relationship?
Nah.
You're not in a relationship anymore?
Nah.
Wait. Answer wow. This guy
Rule
had been dating
one
this
of
girl.
Frugal Athlete.
Yeah. That is rule one. No kids and no relationship.
Okay. This is the first time he's actually ever admitted it, because we've been asking on this group chat if he's gonna propose to his girlfriend because they've been dating for 10 years.
Bro,
and so,
oh, dude, I remember your girl. Yeah, you were with her in Kansas City. I remember her.
That was year 7.
That was not year 7.
No.
Damn. So you coming out hot out the gates, bro?
No, you don't have to say her name. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, I guess
bring
that
personal relationships into the podcast.
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of pleading the fifth since you can't talk about your ex relationship. I can't drag it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he answered your question, so he didn't plead the fifth.
Well, I was expecting him to say yes because I wanted to know how haven't you proposed yet? You're getting full court press. Like what is going on?
Rule 1. Rule 1.
Yeah.
Rule 1.
Yes,
never
fair
answer
enough.
those questions.
And there is no rule 2 then. Okay.
You'll be rich. Rule 1, don't have a relationship. Okay. Number 2, you've done it.
Okay, you were part of the casino brigade that we had in Kansas City, where we were full of degenerates that went to the casino nonstop. True or false? How many times, or did you go to the casino by yourself? Multiple times in the same day?
Yes. I'm a changed man since then.
Yeah.
Tell me
that's
it was
against
an
the
Isle
frugal.
of Capri.
That's against Frugal Athlete rule number 2.
Nah, the Frugal Athlete rule is don't go with your wallet. Come with the cash. So you don't have to go to the
There we
ATM
go.
and try to chase.
I like that.
Never chase.
I like that.
Do you think
and-
you had control?
And rule number 3, count cards so you know you're going to win.
Hey, I can't
Because
weigh up, so I'm
Sal's
good.
done. Sal lives in Vegas. I can't even believe it.
That's
Wait,
fair.
you for real live in Vegas?
Yeah, I moved here.
Respect.
He used to live on the strip. They kicked him off the strip. 15-mile radius.
Don't get off topic yet. But I will say before I move on to the next question, you did not have it under control. I saw you devastated on multiple
You gotta
accounts.
repeat that, bro.
I said, before I move on to the next question, I saw you devastated on multiple accounts. You did not have it under control.
It's all about how you end, man. It's all about how you end. I ended up.
I swear, I saw the look in your eyes multiple times that was like, I just lost my rent money. So, next question. We talked about Peter Novak, and that story that I just can't believe that happened and people were complicit was for him spanking rookies. Were you ever spanked by Peter Novak?
Wow. Me?
Yes or no? Yes, you. That's who you
Did Amobi freeze? Did his computer freeze?
He's just laughing. If you can't see this, he's just laughing.
Nah.
Wait,
I
it
wasn't.
took you a minute to answer no.
Yeah, I swear. Nah.
That was one of the longer pauses.
Nah.
In
But
question.
I did get spanked, but not by coaches. Not by coaches.
What?
We'll leave that to your guys' imagination.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. We'll go to a different. We'll just change gears here.
Coming hard, man.
I love that you tweet about soccer because that was the one thing as a player. I don't really tweet about other games and other players much because it is what it is. I don't really get into it, but you will tweet, live, whether it be referees, things happening in MLS, and you make hot takes and whatnot. But this one, I know you love yourself, and we all do. Me and Benny love Marc Anthony K. And now that you're in USL, obviously we know his story and his path. Who would you call the next big USL guy to make it in MLS? This is your I told you so, your hype train.
Okay.
So you can say,
I would say
you can take
Junior
credit.
Flemings. He's from Jamaica. And he's a baller. He's a winger. Plays on Phoenix.
He played
Yeah,
on
he was
Red Bull
actually
too
there.
when
He
I was
at
there.
Red Bulls when I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. He can play. I like his game.
He's a weird one. Like he puts up numbers, right? But
Yeah.
then at the same time, I never seen a soccer player do some of the stuff he does on the field. It's almost like so unorthodox. You're just like you're wondering in your head if he's like good or not. But he puts up numbers. So
Yeah, him. There's a young guy. There's a young guy on San Antonio. He's in the middle. He's real crafty. I like his game too.
His name?
What's his name? Gallegos. His last name's Gallegos or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Be on the lookout. He's like
Okay.
16, 17 years old. He's a good player.
Okay.
oh wow, they're signing guys
Is
young
he-
in the USL now.
Yeah, is he loaned from somewhere?
Nah, he's like a homegrown, like from San Antonio. They got him on a
Interesting.
USL contract. I think he's on one of those contracts where he still keeps his eligibility. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's
Yeah,
played
yeah.
quite a bit, and he's real crafty in there. Like he holds his own.
Okay. Okay.
Those two players.
You can take credit if they ever make it, and we
This is
will
part of,
clip
this is
this.
part of the reason why
as
I'm in
your-
the USL, man. I'm poaching the talent earlier.
Like that.
He's turning into an agent.
Yeah.
That's
Smart.
fair.
He's talking to him after games.
Okay, and last question. Give me your true emotional, raw thoughts on your time in Kansas City. This will maybe please our viewers or upset them.
Kansas City was funny
You could about the club or the city, whatever you want. It's your choice.
Like, off the field, it was great. Like, you guys were there, great locker room, great food. Lived like 2 miles from Argosy, so it was, but like literally got there hella unexpected because I just signed a contract with Orlando, expecting to be there for a while. Get traded. I got traded. Like, my whole family was in town. Got traded, so I had to leave. Dealt with that. Then I had to get ready for Kansas City Fitness, so that was an adjustment.
Sporting fit.
Yeah, sporting fit. Got fit. Played in the first game. Toronto came, won, got an assist. Second game I played. Apparently I tore my PCL. We got smacked 5-0. Then I was injured.
Oh God, was that San Jose?
San Jose.
San Jose was 2015.
Yeah, we got smacked. I remember because I was injured.
I got a red card that game.
Yeah, it was just bad. So I got injured.
Awful. Everything went wrong.
Everything went wrong that game.
That game.
So I played like that first half with like a torn PCL. No one even know about it. So whatever. Then came back, played one game, came off the bench against San Jose, and after that, Vermees was like, "Yeah, thanks, but no thanks." I was like, "Okay."
He's not too keen on guys that get injured a lot, other than Ike.
Yeah.
There was a few games where I had to come out of games, and he just was like looking at me like as I was walking off, like.
I'll say one thing. There was a game that I would have gotten released because it was FC Dallas on a Sunday at 4 p.m. It was the hottest game I've ever played in. I had heat stroke, I swear. I was seeing stars. And it was the first, and thank God that was the first year that they implemented the water breaks. It saved my life because I was going to raise my hand and sub off. And Peter would have been like, "What's wrong? Like hamstring or something?" And I would be like, "No, I can't play. Like it's too hot."
Was that the over the line game?
Yeah, when Lowe and Lowe was my center back. I make fun of this with Lowe now that he's in Minnesota. I look over at Lowe, probably the 20th minute of the game. He is squatting on the field, and the ball is like 20 yards from him. Lowe is so tired he can't even move. He's squatting on the field. I'm thinking to myself, why are we playing this game?
It was so hot that day. Like let's put a game in the summer at 4 o'clock, which is by far the worst time in Kansas City in the summer. It's the hottest time of the day.
Oh God,
that is hilarious.
Yeah,
so he was
like, he had Castillo running around Dallas. It was like winter for them. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
I'm sorry. I think playing away games in Houston and Dallas I don't care how bad the team is, they are the hardest games. The hardest games. Yeah.
They are.
I don't care what anybody says.
Bro.
Kansas City's up there too. Kansas City's,
Kansas City can be up there but because they've been a good team, it makes it even harder in the way they play. But like, I've had some nightmares in Dallas, just like thinking about Barrios and Castillo just like running at me on the wing. Oh my God. Just gives me anxiety thinking about it.
He used to be the best pressing forward I've ever seen. You couldn't take a touch.
You're Rudy?
And yeah, he'd be within 20 yards. You take your touch.
Him and Quincy are the worst.
Oh, no, it's tough.
Yeah.
But you're officially off the hot seat, so congrats.
Okay,
Moby, you didn't plead the fifth, man. What's that?
So I don't have to finish the whole Kansas City thoughts? I'm good?
Well, if you have more, please enlighten us.
Yeah, so... Yeah, so where I was at, so after the season, he's like, yeah, but I was guaranteed. So he was like, he's trying to figure out what they're going to do. So I was like, okay, I'm guaranteed for like another 2 years, so y'all can figure it out. So going to preseason, I'm like, yo, you said you didn't want me, but you ain't trade me. Like, y'all need to figure something out. So he tried to hold me hostage. So that was a real asshole of him. Him and Brian Bliss. If I ever see Brian Bliss in person,
I'm gonna ask Brian tomorrow if he listens to the podcast.
just clip this
at
piece.
Breakfast.
Just clip this piece for Bliss.
Is it possible to be a GM in the MLS without having players hate you? That's a legitimate question.
No, there's no way. I mean, no matter what, I think
there's no way.
There's always going to be like whatever, some situation.
Animosity. There's always
some
be, right?
Even Dax, when Dax was on, right, he said he respects the hell out of Jesse and he thinks he's a great coach, but he thinks he could have handled that better. Which I think even probably if you ask Jesse, he would, I think, agree with. So I mean, just like whatever, everybody makes mistakes here and there. People handle things not the right way, or they don't care enough to try and like help the guy that you know you're trading away or whatever. So
the first thing you hear about when you come to a team is like, oh yeah, that guy, try negotiating with him, or like it's always like a negative towards the GM, whoever it is, you know. Oh, did you hear what he did to this guy? Can you believe that? And it's just like they got no shot. As soon as someone comes in, they already have an opinion on him. It's crazy.
That's probably a good thing, though. If people don't like the GM, that means he's probably doing a pretty good job.
Exactly. As long as there's a respect factor, like I have respect for all the coaches, all the GMs, but you got to handle it a certain way.
Has to be respect. Yeah.
I just think it's funny when like the coaches will do some dirty stuff, and then when they get fired, they're like, I never got a fair chance. Like, bro, you've been there 2 seasons. You ain't won any games.
Yeah. No, I've been part of the Rapids before Anthony Hudson got fired, and it was kind of like that. He was there for about a year and almost a year and a half, and just didn't find that success. So let him go. I mean, I don't know if he has the thought process that he wasn't given a fair shot, but.
Well, he kind of said that. Didn't he say he did something about DPs and like?
Yeah, he crushed our roster pretty good. Right.
He made all the decisions. He brought the players in.
Yeah, so I think there was some truth in the things that he was saying, but it was also his by his own doing. So
I mean, some GMs are handcuffed with the budget restrictions they have on certain teams, so it's tough to build any team up, you know.
Yeah. All right, Mobes, you finished the 5 questions without pleading the fifth. Congratulations, you are officially off the hot seat.
Thank you.
The pleasure was all ours, Amobi. It was a lot of fun having you on the show. We had some great conversations. Sal, this guy has been through some crazy stories as our previous guest, and it was what do we learn today? I
mean, we learned a lot. I don't know if we really learned anything, but I think the viewers had some juicy gossip to talk about.
I think I learned some things I didn't want to learn.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on the Philadelphia Union in those years. That's what I learned.
I think I would have rather gotten spanked than not have water or practice, so I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, great show. Obviously, a big friend of ours, Moby, and he likes the podcast as well. So it's good to have him on the show and have some interesting stories. And good luck with his entrepreneurship moving forward.
Yeah, that's great. Once again, thanks for everybody for listening. Shout out to our 7 fans, or actually listeners in Thailand. Hopefully, we got maybe a live podcast in Bangkok one day, Benny.
No, I love that. Yeah. As usual, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, yell or stream on TuneIn, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, and email us your thoughts on Benny Sal, the podcast at gmail.com. Like I said, we're going to eventually figure this out where we have our guests ready, days in advance, where we can get people to send in their questions and things to talk about and topics or whatever. But obviously we're still in the beginning phases of this thing, so bear with us there. And as always, we appreciate all the love.
Yeah, and I think we got some discussions of some exciting guests possibly coming up in the next couple episodes, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.